guys and girls. So today what we're going to do is we're going to look at the AT15, the Tier 8 tank destroyer from the British line. Now, I've got to say, this tank is not easy to play. It takes quite a fair bit of getting used to, and certainly when it's stock, it is completely useless. Um, Sorry for that analogy, but it really is. But once you upgrade it and you change the gun in it and you get the mobility up, I would actually advocate really strongly that you go to an engine upgrade before you go to worrying about guns and things like that. Get the thing moving. Invariably, it helps you turn and get the tank moving as well, which, from a lot of perspective, when you've got a non-turreted TD like this, you need to be able to swing around to try and stop some of the mediums getting on the rear of you. So a couple of different games I'm going to review here for you, just scenarios that you can see. At the moment, what we're doing is pushing up fairly aggressively, and it's a pretty common map where people will do that. Generally, the meds go to the left-hand side, the far left, and try and hold that because it's a really good place where you can sort of keep hull down there and just let your turret out and just get good shots over on this position here where a lot of the red team will often come up and try and get some advantage. So right now what I've done is pushed right up just to try and spot. I've got some decent frontal armor, but one thing you ought to know with this tank is don't think you can just pull out in front of a bunch of guns and expect not to get wrecked, because you will. So you've got to be smart. I mean, there's a Tier 9 German tank there, the VK. I mean, he can do decent damage. He hasn't got, depending on what gun he's got, his rate of fire is quite slow, and that's something that you're going to see with this tank. Once we get into position where we can do some damage, we will start pounding them with our massive ability to just do damage per minute, and that's what this whole line is about until you get up to the Death Star at FV183, which is what everyone has to grind, basically from. So you can see this SU-101, he's put one into the side of me, come out of nowhere, and he's retreating. Now, one thing you don't do in an AT, in any of them, is back away. Once you get onto a target, don't start turning around. Like this guy's turning around, trying to run away, and that was the worst thing he did because he showed the rear of him to me, and I was just able to just out damage per minute him. It's as simple as that. So, you can see very quickly, yeah, I've taken some damage, and that was purely because I let that VK hit me from the rear. But I had a choice. I had one on either side of me. So what I did was I went for the tank that I knew I'd have a better advantage from. And also, if that SU-101 hit me in the rear, he's got a greater damage per minute than what the VK does. So I knew if he was on my rear and kept pounding me, I'd be dead in a couple of minutes, or not even that, 30 seconds, 40 seconds. So now what we've done is we've got ourselves in a position where it's even. But you watch what's going to happen here in this next scenario, because I don't just rush up onto these guys. What I'm doing is playing smart. And everyone sort of says, oh, you're a bit of a coward, you're doing this, you're doing that. No, it's not. You're playing smart. If you're rushing out and YOLOing and dying in under 2 minutes, seriously, on any games, guys, that's really not how you're supposed to play this game. So you can see that the other AT15 has got me, and he's hit me. So obviously the weak point is my hatch on the top, or some of the guys like to call it the capola. The capola is very weak on the top. So I actually quite like that name, but I think it's just a hatch, really. So again, these guys are now distracted by our team members on the left, and like that waffle tractor can absolutely wreck me, but he's not looking at me because he's disregarding me. But look at the damage per minute that I'm doing on him. I switched to APCR because I was trying to get rid of him, and then I ran out of that. So again, he's come on to me there. If he got a shot, I was finished. And invariably, I think the game would have been over, because it would have happened to our waffle tractor with the other AT15. So you can see there the damage per minute. I just got on there and just absolutely smashed them. because I was able to just keep pounding them away with a decent gun. Um, and, we top scored 2,500, or didn't top score in terms of damage, we top scored in terms of experience, but decent damage. But you look at that. So, that's one way of driving the AT15. Now, a way that I think most people should be driving this tank in as many scenarios as you can is using the excellent gun depression. So it's got a fantastic traverse in terms of the actual gun itself, can actually really angle down at the front, which means you don't have to expose your whole self. And one thing by using the gun depression on this tank, it actually takes the hatch out of play a little bit. I'm not saying to say it takes it a lot, but it takes it out a little bit. And the front lower plate of the tank also too, where you can get a little bit of damage to you, is also taken out. So you can see here, pop over the top. I hit the IS-6. No, didn't really damage him because I hit him in the wrong spot. But again, straight away, another 2 hits into him before he's really even worked out where I am. Obviously, he knows I'm here, but he's gone, it's only an AT15. Not going to consider him. But as soon as you start pounding the damage per minute with these guys, it does a good thing. You see, I've bounced 1 shot, bounced 2 shots, because I'm only just giving them the top of the tank. I haven't rolled straight out in front of these guys like a lot of people do in this tank. And yeah, you can come back and reset camo as well if you wanted to. The trouble is, by the time you've reset camo, you've missed probably 2 or 3 shots with the damage per minute that this can do. So you do have to expose yourself a little bit, and that's where using this gun depression can actually help you in this tank, because you can only expose the top armor plating of the tank. So what I'm going to do here, again, when you're doing this, be spatially aware of what's going on around you. You've got to watch the map. And I knew this Drac was up here, and I thought, the STA might have him. But unfortunately, the Drac has just wrecked him. So I'm now in a position where I've got to front onto the Drac. So I've actually had to leave that ridge where I was playing just a second ago. And my main reason for that is I do not want to have something like a Drac or a T54 Mod 1 or anything like that on my bum, because once they get onto the back of you, it's really hard to get them off. And your damage per minute is not going to help you. Again, I'm not rushing over to this RU251 and trying to YOLO him, because I'm now looking at, if he starts running, there's no way I'm going to even catch him. So why go and put yourself into jeopardy like that? So again, seeking out what's going to happen here. Attract him, which was great for the Glacial, because he's been able to put a couple in, and I put another shot in, and another shot, and again, the kill. Because there was 3 shots you put into him, but I had to track him to do it. So tracking is another way of stopping tanks in their tracks, literally. Haha, look how funny I am. If you stop them in their tracks, then in this tank you can keep pounding them with the damage per minute. So this one here, excuse me, we will get most likely people commenting saying, you're a coward, you're a noob. They start calling you all the names under the sun because you're hanging at the back and you're not at the front in this tank. Exactly for the same reason as you wouldn't do it in, a PTA, a Leopard PTA. Why would you want to go out and get wrecked by the whole team in the first 2 minutes of the game? Guys, use the time effectively. Get shots off. Build up your damage. Build up your damage portfolio in a game. Don't just go in there and do a little bit of damage and then get YOLO'd and die. It's not how you should be playing, and that's just happening more and more, especially Tier 8, Tier 9, and even I'm now seeing it in Tier 10, where guys are just, they've got such low average damage because they're used to playing at low tiers. You can do that in low tiers. In the high tier games, you just cannot get away with it. You will get wrecked. It will cost you the game, and you will get people calling you all sorts of names. And look, we all get frustrated with those style of plays. But unfortunately, what can you do about it? You just have to accept that everyone on the team is going to play differently, but you have to take responsibility for how you play. And in terms of this tank here, this is obviously what I'm sort of advocating, is what I've found is a way of ensuring that you're going to get better bang for your buck. You're going to be there at the end. If you're there at the end in this tank, you've got a good chance of your team winning. See, I've been spotted again, bounced one because all I'm showing is that tough top plate. And again, I've just dropped back and hammered another one into where I thought that panther was. And you can see, yeah, I'm not able to do huge amounts of damage per minute at the moment. And the reason being is because I'm trying to protect my hit points. There's no good, again, being dead in the first few minutes of a game. And, at the moment we're one down, and let them make the mistake. You keep in a position where you've got control over your game. Don't drag yourself into their game, because that's exactly what they're hoping to do. And any good players will do that. They want you to be part of their agenda, not yours. And I would much prefer a game finish in a draw. I know that's going to sound controversial. Than everyone sort of end up dead in the first 2 minutes, and you end up with a 7-0 scorecard. That to me is just not how the game is played, and it's certainly not a fun experience. You get to go and have another game very quickly, but it's not satisfying. Satisfying is actually working the map, working the tank as it should be to get the result, and actually trying to outsmart the enemy. And you can see here we've only got 3 minutes left in the game. And that's still a long time when you start thinking about it. And I'm just trying to get onto this E75 because I know someone driving an E75 effectively is a very dangerous tank. And, we're just trying to support the guys who are keeping them spotted, which is, I think it's our T44 down there has got them spotted. Again, that Panther's popped up, and I'll pop another 2 into him and do some decent damage. It's not about, again, me doing huge... This is the trouble with this tank. It hasn't got huge amounts of alpha, but if you can keep pounding into them, you will do a lot of damage. You you just can't... You couldn't pen that E75 unless you really got his front lower plate or his hatch. And the hatch on an E75 is hittable, but it's not... it's certainly not something that's easy to hit, and you won't hit it on the run, that's for sure. So you can see, guys, I really do think if you're sort of using the gun depression on it and you're angling that front, I mean, you look at the DPM on this, full health IS3, that's 1 shot, 2 shots, I'm about to hit him again, 3 shots, 4 shots, and the kill shot comes up right now. Kill shot, he's gone. That's the last of them. So hopefully this will give you some tips on how to drive the AT15. It's certainly helped me. Guys, subscribe to the channel. Follow what we're doing. Hopefully you like it. And I'll keep trying to produce more videos that have relevance to people. And good luck out there on the battlefield. It's a great game. Heaps of fun. Enjoy it.